Hey friends, Kevin here, your Sacramento, Stockton area realtor and lender, here with this week's weekly real estate report. Well, it's all doom and gloom. Doom, I say. All right, it's not all doom and gloom. It just depends on how you look at it. So let's take a look at it and see what you think, because these are the facts. All right, so looking at our median list price, which we have been watching just hold steady for about 9 weeks straight right there, finally started to fall off, and we are now starting to see that median list price fall. But remember, let me pull up my other chart real quick, that we have also been watching this price reductions per week. It is way up here. I mean, look at that, this yellow line. So we're well over 2,000 price reductions each and every week right now. Well, roughly about 2,000 each and every week. And when you consider the fact that if we look at our green line right here, we are at about 5,500 homes on the market. Out of 5,500 homes on the market, 2,000 of them are seeing a price reduction. All right, and that, of course, is we can really see that show up on the yellow line as we've been watching since right about the end of May. End of May, prices just started falling. So May was the peak of the market. After that, it is just falling. And what do we see down here? Well, our pending sales also are falling pretty hard. Now, if I go back in time and take a look at the pending sale dips, we're going to find out that right about now, we're close to, if not have set a record for the lowest number of pending sales per week since I've been keeping track here. So it's looking a bit dismal here, folks. But I have a good friend who always says the trend is your friend. So what does that mean? What is a trend? Well, it depends on if you are a buyer or seller. You simply want to look at the data, use the data to your advantage. Now, granted, this falling home prices isn't really a friend to those of you selling, but if you can take a look at the data and see what's happening, as I keep saying every week, the real trick to selling in this market, and I know it's painful, is you have to be under market value. And I know you're thinking, well, Kevin, that's just crazy. Why do we sell for under market value? Well, because in a way, nothing is selling for market value. The things that are selling are the things that are selling under market value. So one could argue, well, then that is the market value, and everything that's not selling is over market value. And I would say you're right. And if you understand that, you get it. Because, say for example, you have a house and you've had $600,000 and it's worth $600,000 and everybody agrees $600,000 is the market price. So you list it for $600,000, you're not going to get any offers. You're not going to get anybody showing up. So who's buying? What are they buying? These people are going to the house at $580 and they're buying. So prices come down a little bit. You're at $6. All right. So we'll go to $590. Well, you're still 10 over. So the trick is if your house is worth $6, you got to get down to $580, $550. And I know that sounds painful. Or the other option is to wait 6 months or a couple months or a month when prices you were at 600 and now you're at 500 and you're at 480 and you've lost 100. And you think, why didn't we just listen to somebody back then and we should have just sold for 580 and we'd have been so happy. And now you're way below that 580. That is what you have to understand as a seller. You have to get in that mindset. It's painful. I know it. All right. If you're a buyer, what is the trend is your friend here? Right now, inventory is way up. Inventory is up. You have a lot to choose from. We're looking at the data. We know that sellers are willing to make a deal. You have to be aggressive and go write the offer on the house that you want. Don't worry about what the list price is. Write the offer. If the seller doesn't like it, they'll just say no, thank you. Hey, it didn't cost you anything to try, right? But be realistic and your expectations there. And buyers, and I'm going to hopefully this is the big takeaway, huge takeaway. I'm hearing it everywhere I go now. Buyers, don't worry about rates. You just get an adjustable rate because that rate is so much lower. And all you have to do is refi when rates go down. Well, buyers, I've seen this before. I've lived through it before. You cannot refinance an adjustable rate mortgage if you are upside down in value. And if you buy today, chances are your value is going to drop and you're going to be upside down soon. That's just life. That happens in real estate. Don't let it freak you out. But what are you going to do? Number one, if you go upside down. Number two, what are you going to do if rates don't go down? You're going to be stuck with an adjustable rate mortgage that you can't afford, which is going to cause you to lose your home. That's a fact. I've lived through this before. So please take my advice. Stick with something that has a fixed, known rate over the life of the loan. Whether that's interest only first and then a fully amortized payment later at a fixed rate. Whether it's a buy down where you have a lower rate this year, a little bit higher rate the next year, and then you go to the what we call fully amortized rate for the next 28 years. Something along those lines. You must do that. Do not settle for an adjustable rate that is going to adjust to an unknown rate. You should know your rate when you sign the papers for the next 30 years. All right, that's my big preach for today. If I could save one person from getting an adjustable rate mortgage and losing their home, I feel that I've done my job and my time was well spent here. So what are rates doing? Well, rates were at, let's look at the bright side. Rates were at 6.92%, and they barely went up at all. 6.92 last week. Freddie Mac says they're at 6.94 this week. So, hey, fantastic news, right? They hardly went up at all. That's all I got for this week, folks. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you here next week. Take care. Bye.